Maybe you won't believe this. Hoyo has decided the fate of every Harbinger in as early as a winter night's lazo. Because the code names of the Harbingers comes from commedia dell'arte, a form of Italian theater from 17th century. Performers in these theaters play characters with different masks, each mask representing a fixed image, like Colombina, La Signora, Tartaglia, or Dottore. And the personality, relationship, and even ending of these characters are already set in stone. With this, maybe we can work out the past of the Harbingers, their current motivations, and even their future endings, since some of them has already been proven true. Starting from Pierrot the Jester. In Commedia dell'arte, Jester is not really a fool. He's in fact a very smart character, whose amusing, foolish acts are mostly just disguises for achieving certain goal or raising others up. And we all know that Pierrot is not a real jester. He's hiding his purpose of killing gods under the tragedy of his destroyed motherland. Colombina the Damselette is an innocent, kind, and free girl in Commedia dell'arte. She can also be a little naughty, having fun teasing hypocrites and perverts. It's probably why Colombina likes to argue with Sandrone. Most importantly, no matter what kind of evil plot she got herself into, she can always become the last one standing through her wisdom and luck. Speaking of, Sandrone the marionette is often normal people that get dragged into the story. She's usually emotional, innocent, kind, and gullible. She sometimes gets cheated by bad guys and gets tragically betrayed, or sometimes gets saved by good guys and becomes a hero. Also, Sandrone is usually played by not one, but 3 different actors. Does this mean that aside from Sandrone and Polonia, there's a third marionette? Arlecchino the Knave is often a game changer. She's charismatic, smart, cunning, a good executor, and often mercilessly teases and toys with the upper class and rich person. But deep down, she's actually very kind and has many connections with Colombina. Maybe you have noticed. These are exactly the same as Arlecchino in the game. After all, the old House of Hearth was but an organization that uses orphans as tools. And after Arlecchino took over, she really took the orphans as her own children. And with Colombina, Arlecchino often play the game of sneaking behind each other's back. Although we know it's just Arlecchino testing Colombina's power, since Colombina's power comes from the moon, while Arlecchino's power comes from another moon. But after being scared by Colombina's moon power, Arlecchino never did it again. Tartaglia, child, is more interesting. In Commedia dell'arte, he's a confident person that speaks with a stutter. Prideful, smart, but can't really express himself. Tartaglia often provides comedic effect with quirky moves, pushing the story to go forward. Remember the greatest toy salesman in Snezhnaya? It seems exactly the same as our child Ajax, who's overly confident but don't want his family to see him embarrassed. Not only that, Pulcinella the Rooster and Pantalone Regrader also has the same image as in Commedia dell'arte. Pulcinella is a cheapskate that uses every way he can think of to make money. He's always depicted with an iconic big nose. He uses and manipulates others for his own interest, and abandons people with no value without hesitation. It's shown in the game's lore too. Snezhnaya once sent Fatui to fight against the Abyss together with the Millelith. But in order to get the Gnosis, Snezhnaya had to ruin their relationship with Liyue. Therefore, after Tartaglia started his operation, the Fatui troops stuck under the chasm were all abandoned, being left to starve and die underground where monsters are everywhere. And of course, the one that sent the abandoning order is Pulcinella. Pantalone Regrader is a typical crooked merchant. He's greedy, lustful, loves money more than everything. The worst part is, he's also cunning and sharp. Once he got eyes on a target, whether it's wealth, treasure, or woman, he'll use anything to take it in his hand at any cost. Pantalone in Genshin is undoubtedly such a dangerous man. He once suffered and struggled in poverty, and it became his reason to hate gods. To fight against the gods, he chose to gather wealth. Since the wealth in Teyvat is made by God, or specifically Zhongli, he even wanted to kill Zhongli and replace Moro with currencies made by human themselves. We can even see the evil deed of his Northland Bank on a Nodcry bulletin board. If someone owns money from Northland Bank, them, their family, and even their descendants all have the responsibility to pay the debts. Interestingly, La Signora, the fair lady, is the wife of Pantalone in Commedia dell'arte. She's a beautiful, scheming woman with gorgeous dresses and heavy makeup. She still have kindness and sympathy towards others from time to time, but eventually, she'll have a tragic ending for picking the wrong side, just like the Crimson Witch of Flames that died under Raiden's blade. Dottore the Doctor is almost a perfect fit with the one in Commedia dell'arte. He's an arrogant scholar that defies everything, using his knowledge to aid the evil, but always fails for his own arrogance. This might be suggesting the ending of Dottore. Maybe it's Hoyo having their own understanding of the character. The only one that's significantly different from Commedia dell'arte is Capitano the captain. We now knows that Capitano is the strongest, most upright one in the Fatui. Many soldiers follows him for his selfless and noble cause. But in Commedia dell'arte, Capitano is a handsome foreign mercenary in military uniform. He's arrogant and prideful, bragging about his honor and achievements as a soldier. These are all the origins of Fatui Harbinger codenames. We can see that many of them have their fate sealed as early as when they had their codename. Oh, did we forget anyone? Yes, Wanderer. Although he's already quitted the Fatui, but with the codename Scaramouche. He's just like the Commedia dell'arte, a tragic character that only lived for himself. All the setbacks in her past twisted his kind heart, and at the end of the story, he'll often be persuaded by a good guy, sacrificing himself to bring a heavy blow to the antagonists. Coincidentally, Wanderer has just arrived at Nod Cry. Will he end his past with Dottore, dealing a fatal blow to the Fatui? Let's wait and find out in the future.